Hello, I'm undefined. To start with the conclusion. After 5 months here, life in Laos has been genuinely peaceful. From a young age, I grew up with more confusion and hardship than most people. Our house was burnt down, there was poverty, and for much of my childhood, I was largely left on my own. Academically, I was always at the bottom. Later in life, I managed to pull myself together, studied seriously, and eventually entered the top tier university. But even then, once I stepped into the society, confusion didn't end. It simply changed its shape. Looking back, there were very few truly easy periods in my life. At some point, the world started to feel unbearably fast. Everything was connected. Everything demanded attention, and people were being consumed without a moment to breathe. I wasn't really living anymore. I was just enduring that something happened. A decisive event that's hard to explain in words, and one clear surface. I needed to leave. In the summer of 2025, with almost no preparation, I left Korea with about $5,000 and a small suitcase and came to Luang Prabang, Laos. From the outside, it probably looked reckless, impulsive, even irresponsible. But I'm not sharing this as a dramatic life story. Even in chaos, I've always asked myself questions, and those questions, more than anything else, have guided my direction. Along the way, AI became an unexpected but essential partner, one of the most reliable tools supporting my daily life and work even now. That's also why I make videos. In a world that's changing too fast, I don't want people to feel lost the way I once did. I want to create content that helps even a little. Of course, I still need to make a living. That reality hasn't disappeared. My life has been a long series of confusion. Because I had to untangle that confusion, I learned to ask better questions. And inside those questions, I found insights that I believe can also help others navigate their lives. When I first arrived in Laos, what I felt wasn't peace. Honestly, it was a shock. Walking out of the airport before thinking about the future, anxiety, or money, the first feeling was simply, I've arrived. Relief. The reality here was completely different from Seoul. Everything was quieter, slower, simpler. The constant noise, speed, and competitive pressure that filled every day of city life were simply absent. And after a few days, a deep tension I had carried for my life began to loosen. 5 months later, my situation hasn't changed much. I still have a little over $4,000. Freelance work has paused. The future remains uncertain. And yet, I'm not as anxious as I used to be. When I wake up in the morning, the numbness I once accepted as normal has faded. The mental pressure that constantly weighed on me in city has grown quiet. Life in Laos carries far less risk. Meals cost $2 or $3. Coffee costs $2. Rent is about $150 for a shared place. If you live simply, you can survive on under $500 a month. Many locals here live on less than $200 a month. And yet, on their faces, I rarely see the stiffness, anxiety, or emotional shutdown that's so common in major cities. It's strange, isn't it? Most people watching this video probably earn 10 times more than the average Latin, and yet they often seem more at ease, more alive. One reason is the power of low density environment and nature. There's no constant rushing here, no one pushing you forward, no noise shaking your body at all. Nature is always nearby, and you begin to feel, not intellectually, but physically, how your senses recover. I'm a highly sensitive person, an HSP. Roughly, 1% of people process the world more intensely. That likely made city life far more exhausting for me and made the recovery here much more noticeable. In the city, I did realize how much my body and nervous system were constantly enduring. Only after living did I truly understand. Humans aren't built to survive through sheer willpower. We recover when we're placed in the right environment. For me, Laos became that environment. Gradually, those sensations began to return: space, calm, depth of thought, and a quiet sense of self. That's why, through this channel, I don't just want to share information about Laos. I want to show that people who are slowly breaking down in the city do have other options. Life is far more flexible than we are taught to believe. And starting again more calmly, more intentionally, is often more possible than it seems. I know this because I'm living in here, Laos. If your life feels confusing, heavy, or stuck right now, it's probably not because you lack motivation. Most people stay stuck because they keep asking the same wrong questions over and over again. Let me say this clearly first. You are probably not the problem. The world has shifted into a structure that overwhelms the human nervous system. Trying harder doesn't fix that. Asking clearer questions does. If you keep asking the same questions, your life keeps producing the same exhaustion. I lived through collapse, loss, rebuilding. I eventually left my country with $5,000 and a backpack. What changed my life wasn't effort. It was changing the questions I asked. That's why I created 120 questions, not motivation, not positive thinking. A practical diagnostic manual designed to cut through the mental noise and show why capable people feel exhausted even when they rest. You open it, you pick a question, you use it immediately. Most people feel noticeably lighter after answering just 3 to 5 questions. These questions are meant to be explored through conversation with AI, so you can test your thinking and see your patterns clearly in real time. Questions like, what structure is my effort actually fitting? And is it aligned with my biology? What kind of rest does my nervous system recognize as real? What part of my life keeps draining me, even though I keep fixing it? Most people realize within minutes that they've been solving the wrong problem. This is not a mindset shift, it's a structural reset. Use it when you are tired of trying harder.